Hey, what's happening? This is your host, Jonathan Dunmeyer, with Dominion Empowerment Podcast. Just another amazing day. Just want to say hello to everybody. Thank y'all for tuning in. What I want to talk about on this episode is housing first, why stability changes everything. It's very important to make sure that everything is structured properly. If you listen to the last episode, we talked about rebuilding. We talked about the idea that you are not late, you are rebuilding. Today, we're taking that deeper because rebuilding without stability is just controlled chaos. And the truth is, you don't need chaos. Most veterans are trying to build wealth before they stabilize their housing. So what I aim to do with Dominion Empowerment is to make sure that everything is structurally set up properly, because you have to have everything stabilized first. You can't go out here and just be ready to scale, ready to go get all these multifamilies, you get all excited, you got this information, you're ready to take things and run and jump, and you're gonna crash and burn. You're gonna fail. And then you're gonna say, well, Jonathan never told you to go out there and do any of that. Why? Because that's not how I operate. Everything that I do is systematic, strategic, it's structured. That's why you have to have your housing stabilized first. That's why you have to make sure everything is laid out properly. Because you can't just go out here haphazardly doing things and then blaming others for your failures, or what we call failures. It's not my fault. It'll always be the other individual's fault. Because as I've said on the last episode, I'm not going to keep nothing from you. I'm going to show you how to do this thing. I'm going to show you, walk you through it, guide you, teach you, mentor you, make sure that everything that you need is provided for you so that you are set up to succeed. This is about success. Housing is not just shelter. Housing is psychological infrastructure. That's a powerful statement. And if that infrastructure is unstable, everything built on top of it shakes or falls apart or comes crumbling down. It's a reason why when we joined the military, we went to boot camp to learn how to operate and how to become a soldier. We had to learn how to come to attention. We had to learn how to about face. We had to learn how to march the right way. We had to learn all of the things as it pertained to becoming a soldier. We had to learn how to shoot properly. We had to learn how to low crawl. We had to learn how to 3 to 5 second rush. We had to learn all of these things. Did we learn them all in one day? No. It was laid out over 8-9 weeks to give you a foundation that you built upon, so that when you went to your AIT location and learned your job, that the foundation was set in place so that you could be what? Successful. That's what I'm doing. I want to make sure that you're successful. So there's many things that I want to discuss and talk about today. And one of the things is the hidden cost of unstable housing. If your housing situation is unstable, you feel it every single day. I know what that feels like. Because at one point in time, my housing wasn't stable. Didn't feel stable, not like it does now, because I have my own residence. But when I'm renting from somebody else, I don't know if that landlord's going to change my rent from year to year. I don't know if they're going to sell the property and I got to uproot and pick up and try to find somewhere else to live. It's unstable. You may not talk about the instability, but you feel it. You think about it. You're conscious of it. Or maybe you're unconscious of it. Maybe you don't care. Maybe it's like whatever happens, just happens. But that's instability. Instability. I don't like that. I want stability. With stability, you get predictability. With a strategy, you start to get an assurance of how things are going to turn out. Because every week that we went through when we were going through training led us to the point to where we finished our boot camp in order to move on to the next phase. We had fitness tests we had to do, and we had to pass. We had to do many things. They did things to build us up to be stable. A lot of the instability that people are finding and feeling right now, especially those soldiers who are out of the military, is that maybe your rent is too high. Maybe you're living somewhere temporary. Maybe you move 3 times in 2 years. Maybe you stay somewhere that doesn't support your growth. Or maybe you technically house, but you don't feel secure. That instability starts to affect the way you think. It starts to affect the way you move. It starts to affect outcomes in your life. It starts to affect how you feel in the morning, what you think about throughout the day. You're not focused on growth. You're not focused on building wealth. You're not focused on repairing your credit. You're not focused on how to properly put money away. You're not focused on those things. And the unfortunate thing is, most of the time, you can't think long term. You only think in short term. You don't have no vision for the future because you don't think there's a brighter future because of everything that you are currently experiencing and going through. And it's tough when you're trying to figure out and trying to find a way to make a better life for yourself, for your family, for your children, better neighborhoods, better schooling. It's a lot that's on some father's shoulders, some mother's shoulders. And you're faced with this uncertainty. And I get it, because I've been there. I've been there. I grew up in the projects. There was days of uncertainty, not opening the refrigerator and no food in the refrigerator, in the freezer. That's not stability. That's unstable. So this means a lot to me, because what stability actually means, it does not mean luxury. Stability does not mean the biggest house. Stability does not mean impressing people. Stability means predictability. As I said, it's predictable. It starts to show you exactly how to move upon, how do you move every day in your life to where it's going to get you closer to your goal? You say, well, I don't have any goals. I don't have any dreams. I don't have no aspirations. Well, that's why we're here. To show you and to let you know it's possible. It's okay. Everybody has going through something. The problem with a lot of people nowadays is that they don't know how to talk to themselves. They don't know how to build themselves up. They want somebody else to build them up and puff them up. Scripture tells us that when David couldn't find anybody, he looked around and he encouraged himself. Encourage yourself. Talk to yourself. It's okay. You talk to yourself, you're crazy. You're crazy not to talk to yourself. You know why? Because you're going to let other people talk to you. That's what's crazy. And those people are negative. Those people don't want the best for you. Those people can care less about you. They don't have your best interests at heart. When you don't have stability, your housing expense, or when you have stability, rather, your housing expense is manageable. Your environment is safe. Your space supports discipline. You are not constantly bracing for disruption. You can think 6 months ahead. Why? Because now you have stability. Now you have a blueprint. Now you have structure. And with that structure, you can now start to say, okay, I can see what Jonathan is teaching. I can understand what he's revealing. I can understand these strategies that he's revealing, that he's talking about. I can understand how to use business credit cards the right way and not burn through them and use them the wrong way, is what a lot of people do, and get mad and say, it don't work. No, you're not working it. You're doing the wrong thing with the money because most people, unfortunately, don't understand how to do things, and then they blame the system as if the system is broke. The system has been around for hundreds of years, if not thousands of years. It's not the system. You don't understand how to use the system, and then you want to say it's the system's fault. And that's why I won't use business credit. Ain't no business credit stacking. This is just stupid. This, that, and the other. You don't understand how to use it. So if you don't use it the right way and you misuse it, like anything, you abuse it, what you think gonna happen? You're gonna be destroyed. It's gonna destroy you. It's you that went out and got a business, or went out and got a property and didn't do your due diligence, or you were in a rush, you was filled with excitement, you didn't have the information, you didn't have the education, you didn't have the discipline, you didn't have the structure, you didn't have things where it was settled to be predictable, you didn't have a strategy, you didn't have a blueprint, you didn't have all of these things in place, and then you want to say that it's the system? Really? So why is the system working for so many others? It just picked on you because the system had nothing else better to do that day than to attack you. Come on, man. When your environment is predictable, your nervous system relaxes. When your nervous system relaxes, your thinking improves. When your thinking improves, your decisions improve because you relax. What they used to tell us before we would fire our M16s, to be nervous? No. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, squeeze the trigger. Why? Because you relax. Being uptight would affect the way that you shoot, would affect the way that you move. Being nervous affects you as a soldier when you're in combat. Why did you think they had us going through the training of low crawling and going through all the obstacle courses and all the things and setting off explosions and setting up and creating all these different environments for us to what? Try and stress us out. But when you learn to relax in what others would call a stressful situation, everything else becomes easy because you don't panic. You talk differently. You move differently. Because you'll say, everything will work out. Well, it don't look like it's going to work out. I know. But everything will work out. How do you know? Because I'm saying it. Oh, you think just because you speak something that it's going to happen? Yes. You have to have faith. And you have to have works. Faith without works is dead. You have to create the environment here first. Because what's in the heart, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. Death and life is in the power of the tongue. Those that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. You speak life, you'll have life. You speak death, destruction, that's what comes on you. Not physical death all the time, just destruction in your life, your relationships, your job, your career, whatever it is that you're doing. Why? Because everything that you do and say is always negative. Tony Robbins spoke about this from one of the books that I read and all the videos and things I used to watch with him. Like Miles Monroe and all these people. He said, you talk yourself into depression. Talk yourself out. Because I hear all these people claiming and saying, my anxiety. Your what? My anxiety. Your what? I usually ask them 2 or 3 times because you claiming something. Why don't you claim you're healed? Why don't you claim that you deliver? Why don't you claim that you set free? Why don't you claim that you have clarity? Why don't you claim that you have mental stability? Why don't you claim that you have peace? That you have joy? Words are powerful. Words are very powerful. You cannot build wealth while living in chaos. And here is where many veterans get trapped. You leave a highly structured environment, the military, and suddenly you're in a world where nobody tells you what to do. This goes for a lot of the young soldiers who went in at 18, do 20 years, retire, 37, still young. You had so much structure. You had somebody telling you what to do, where to go, when to show up, how to go, how to move, how to do this and how to do that. Now you're out on your own, transition out of the military, you don't know what to do. And that's the unfortunate thing. Which is something that I want to work on with the military eventually, is how to really properly help soldiers to exit out of the military properly. How to set them up for success, to win. This is what this podcast will do. You will no longer struggle unless you want to. You will no longer feel negative about yourself unless you want to. Why? Because I'm not a negative person. I don't have that personality. Why? Because I came from the negative environment. I came from the negative talking people. I've been around them and still around them to this day. But once I hear the negativity, I remove myself from it. Why? Because I learned how to audit my circle of people. I have a different circle of influence over me. So you're out here now trying to move fast, trying to prove something to people, trying to win fast, trying to scale fast, but scaling without stability creates collapse. I don't want you collapsing. I don't want you struggling. Not when you have when I say foolproof system, this is a foolproof wealth building system. Because it's like Legos. When you're a little kid and you're putting Legos and you're building blocks and you're building something, but you're building the right way. You're not just haphazardly throwing something together and let's see what comes out. Let's see what happens. Let's see what we get. It's not what we're doing. We don't want to haphazardly build our lives. We don't want to just haphazardly just throw things to the wind and, see what happens. Let's throw some paint on the wall and see what comes out. This is strategic, man. Ladies, strategy. You have to do things strategic. You have to purposely do things. When I go work out in the morning, I have a workout strategy. I don't just go into the gym to go work out and just see what I can do today. If I know I'm working on chest and arms, I know what exercises I'm doing. I know how long I'm going to be there. I know all of the things. Why? Because I already pre-planned it. Strategy, predictability. One of the things I want to talk about, the veteran trap. Let's talk about the trap. Trap sounds like this. If I just buy something, I'll be ahead. If I just house hack, I'll catch up. If I just invest, I'll fix everything. Buying property from instability is dangerous because when you buy from pressure, you overestimate your income, you underestimate your expenses, you ignore reserves, you romanticize being a landlord, you ignore maintenance reality, you overlook emotional capacity, and when stress increases, peace disappears. And peace is more valuable than ego. Let that sit for you for a moment. My peace is more valuable than my ego. See, for all those who claim or who say what they are, what they have, my anxiety, my depression, my this, my that, I'm not saying it's not real, but what I am saying is your words speak things and then they start to become things. Your thoughts become things. As you think in your heart, so are you. As a man thinks in his heart, so is he. Think differently, move differently. You can't go out here and operate not in peace, in a relaxed environment. You can't go out here and being stressed out going to go do a deal. Oh, I got to get this multifamily, and what happens if this happens, and what if the finances don't go through, and what if this don't happen, and what if that don't happen, and what if? What about what if it works out? What if you have the proper strategy to get the funding? Then you get the property. I don't know if I'm going to have anybody to rent the place, and I don't know this, and I don't know that. That's why we're going to teach you all these things beforehand, so that when you go out here, you're not going out here ignorant. You know exactly where to go. You'll know where to get clients from. You'll know where to get your people that's going to rent from you from. You're going to know what organizations help veterans. You're going to know all these things. Because I don't care how many doors someone has. If they have no peace, they have no dominion. Ownership is not about control, it's about stewardship. And stewardship requires stability. You have to be a steward of that which you have. Stewardship means that you have something, you have been given ownership or control over something to watch over it. And it's your job and responsibility to take care of it. Just like I had stewardship over my children. My job was to provide roof, housing, clothing, light, shelter, all the things. To be a good steward over that which I have. If I'm a bad steward, then I don't get more. You'll destroy things in your life because you're not stewarding, you're not controlling, you're not focusing on what's important. You're focusing on outside influences. You're focusing on negative people around you. You're focusing on the little things that you turn into a mountain when it's really nothing. You're worrying about things that you have control over. One of the important things we have to do is how to stabilize first. Let's get practical. Here's your stabilization checklist, and I want you to listen carefully. Number one, your housing payment should not dominate your income. Hear that again. Please pay attention. Your housing payment should not dominate your income. If you were house poor, you were not free. How do I know? Been there, done that. Because I didn't know what I know now. And what I know now is what I'm giving to you so that you don't ever go through that feeling, so that you don't experience that, so that you can understand how to properly position yourself, okay, to be able to not feel that pressure. You should have at least 2 to 3 months of living expenses saved, not invested, save. Now, Save the right way. Not just saved in the bank, because like I told you, putting your money in the bank, you're not earning nothing off of that. Your money should be placed in an IUL, a whole life insurance policy. Why should it be placed there? One, you're going to earn a death benefit, and you're going to earn the living benefit of your capital growing that you can take money out of, take a loan against your banking system, your bank. Don't put it. We're going to dig deeper into this subject matter. Why? Because it's one that most people, they just don't know, don't talk about, don't care to share. Or some people give you a little bit of information, because I see it on Facebook, Instagram, a little bit of information. That's to get you to buy that course. And then you buy that course, and then that course don't really teach you exactly all the things and all the steps that you need to truly be successful. I'm going to teach you everything you need to be successful. Why? Why wouldn't I? What, is it going to hurt me to help you to be successful? No, everybody wins. Number 3, you should understand your credit, not obsess over it, understand it. Number 4, you must know your real monthly expenses, not estimated, written down. Know your credit score. How to increase it. What does it take to increase it? How long does it take to increase it? What factors cause it to decrease? Utilization, inquiries, charge-offs, late payments. All these things you can get removed off of your credit report. Okay? You can remove all these things, thereby helping to increase your credit score. But once your credit score is increased, then that becomes a valuable asset. I learned that the hard way. I didn't treat it as an asset. Why? Because I didn't know it was an asset. I didn't know that having a credit score of 700 and above would allow me to utilize one LLC to access upwards to $500,000 in a year, if not more. Let that sink in for a moment. I said one LLC. I have 5 LLCs. But let that sink in for a moment. Your credit score, once you learn how to take your credit score and use it as leverage, you'll never have to go and take out a loan again. These are powerful strategies. These are multi-million-dollar strategies. These are the kind of strategies that's going to cause you to win, cause you to grow, cause you to multiply beyond your wildest dreams when you implement these things. One of my mentors, Herman Dolce Jr., the Haitian CEO from Bella Sloan Academy, helped to change this mindset of mine. Helped give me a vision, understanding, and like, wow, man, oh my goodness, I can do what? I got access to what? I can do what? Can't do nothing but get excited, because it's like, yo, there's no doors that can't be opened. There's no business I can't acquire. There's no housing I can't acquire. There's no multifamily I can't acquire. There's no land that I can't acquire. There's so many things and ways of creating and building wealth that you don't know exists. And you don't understand how valuable it is for you as a veteran with your disability benefits, your VA loan, how to understand your certificate of eligibility, how to get business credit cards and business loans, and how to use these things as leverage to use other people's money to where you're not using your money. You get a business credit cards. Like I say, 100K, 0% interest, 12, 18 months. You paying no interest. You go out and acquire a multifamily. That multifamily is making your payments for you. You're using other people's money, and guess what? You reap all the rewards of the points on your business credit card. Like I said, that's a whole nother level of discussion, man. I can't even talk about all these things, but I'm excited to share with you. Number 5, your living environment should support your growth. Let me go back to number 4. You must know your real monthly expenses. You need to know what it is you're paying out every month. You need to know where your money's going. Because once you know where your money's going, you can know what needs to be cut, what needs to be changed. Not so much budgeting, but understand, because I'll deal with that later. Because I had to learn, like I say, when you get around people who are making hundreds of millions of dollars, they think and move differently. Your mindset is different. They show you things and it's like, yo, okay, well, let me shift up everything what I learned, let me drop that and let me adopt what it is that you are talking about. Those are the things that I'll be sharing. Mindset shift is important. As I talked about in the last episode, this here affects everything. How you think, what you say, how you what you say out of your mouth every day affects your livelihood, affects what you become, affects what you do, affects how you move in the world, how you function, how you see the world, how you see your life, how you see progress, and how you see your children and see and speak over them what they can become, and they start to talk differently. They start to move differently. So here's an example. When you're playing that game, Monopoly is a game that's going to teach you wealth building. It's not a game. Don't get your kids the game of Monopoly. You learn the game yourself. And understand this is going to teach them how to build wealth and hold on to real estate. Real estate is one of the best proven over and over ways of building wealth. It's been proven. Moving on. Number 5, like I said, your living environment supports your growth. If your environment promotes distraction, chaos, or undiscipline, that's not stability. And if those 5 things are not in place, you are not ready to scale. And that is not failure, that is wisdom. What I'm telling you is wisdom. I don't want you to fail. I want you to take this information so that you will succeed. I want you to grow exponentially, but I want you to grow the right way. Show you how to scale. Show you how to partner, who to partner with. Let me give you an example, because this is something that most people miss. Say it's just you, your wife. Say you got older kids. Say you got 3 older kids. Everybody has LLCs. Everybody has EINs. Everybody's been taught how to properly set up their LLCs the right way to get business funding. Okay? It's 5 of y'all. Let this sink in. All of y'all taught everything that you need to be taught. So let's say every one of all 5 of y'all, each one, was able to get $250K a piece. $250,000. Everybody got $250,000. How much is that? How much is that? What is that worth to you? 250 plus 250, $500,000. Another 250 plus 250, that's another $500,000. That's 1 million. 1.25 million? You know how many properties you can acquire on seller financing? On subject to deals? Like I say, I got so much to teach you. I haven't even talked about how you can become a private money lender and make money off of that money that's not even your money and charge interest, a higher interest than what you're being charged, because you're being charged what? 0% interest on your money for 18 months. And you can go out there and make money to help fund other people's deals. And guess what? You can do that multiple times in a year. So that 1.25 million can potentially become $2.5 million of resources, of funding, of using other people's money in 1 year. Let that sink in for a moment. By strategically partnering with somebody like myself that knows this information, that's going to give you everything that you need, put you in contact with, like I said, I have real estate investing partners. I got business funding partners. I have AI consultants. Anyway, I just have a lot of access. Why? Because I purposely went out to learn how to become wealthy. I wanted to know what the wealthy did. The wealthy individuals I spoke to, they taught me this valuable lesson. And something that I heard Myron Golden just recently speak about is that the wealthy have other people fund their lifestyle. Why? Because they're not using their money. You know those business credit cards I talked about earlier, people were screwing up on? They knew how to use it the right way. And once I teach you how to use it the right way, guess what you can do with those points? You can travel, business class, first class, around the world. You can take those points and you can go buy merchandise with those points. You make investment deals, say you do a fix or flip on a house, and say you pay a contractor, they don't do what they're supposed to do, your money is covered. So you never lose your money. There's so much, and I can't give it all away in one episode. If you don't change this, you will never change your life. If you don't change your environment, you don't change the people you hang around, if you don't change what you ingest into here on a day, I'm talking about every day. If you don't listen to the right people, you don't watch the right people, you don't learn how to communicate the right way and effectively and clearly and be able to bring things to light and understand, provide value to people and show people that you truly care about them. Because that's all I've done all my life. That's my gift, man. That's what I discovered. Because when people are like, oh, what am I here to do? I figured that out and found that out, man. I was like, well, that's because one day I just sat back and had to analyze myself because I was in a bad place. And I was like, what am I here for? I'm drinking, on drugs. I was smoking weed every day, drinking almost every day, going out to clubs 5-6 times a week, working 2 jobs, blowing money, barely sleeping, not getting rest. So one day I walked past the mirror and I was like, who the heck was that person? Because I didn't even know what I looked like, man. It's how bad of a state of a condition I was in. And I looked at myself, eyes bloodshot red, skin looking crazy, out of shape, not taking care of myself, not healthy. I was like, what am I here for? This ain't living. I'm just existing. This is not living. What am I good at? So I discovered, man, what have you always done? I've always helped people. But now I'm in this place, in this position, ain't nobody helping me. Because I wanted some help, right? No, I talked myself out of that. Because back in the day, in my day, not too long ago, we had libraries. So I went and got me a library card. Because I understood and I knew that I had somebody that would go. Well, I had people that told me, hey man, read this book. You know, I would see the Tony Robbins infomercial and he would talk about the books and things that he would read. So I started going to the free library because I didn't have any money. I was wasting my money. I was just existing. And with me just existing, I went to the free library and I would read about 5 books a week on mindset, on success, Think and Grow Rich. There's so many books I read, autobiographies. Just learning about people and how they succeeded and what they went through and tough times and how they dealt with it and how they came out of it and what was the common theme and the common struggle and the common thought process and how did they work and what did they say and what did they do. And that's what I did every day because I wanted to be better than what I was. So don't go out here trying to do things too fast and too quick. Understand how to use housing as a wealth platform. Here's where this becomes powerful. It's that you have to understand that housing, building up a portfolio, is one of your biggest ways of building wealth. When housing is stable, it becomes a platform, not pressure, platform. Now you can use the VA loan responsibly, buy multifamily homes strategically, rent units calmly, build equity patiently, become a landlord responsibly, make conservative decisions. Because now you're moving from being reactive to intentional. You move from your ego to stewardship. You understand that now I have a proper framework. I have a proper structure. You understand that you have options, is what I'm letting you know. When you follow these steps in this framework, the strategy, the blueprint, you will have structure. You will not have instability, you will have stability. You will have the ability to go out and acquire a lot of doors. This is how wealth is built. This is how you become the person you always dreamed about. This is how you get and acquire and help homeless veterans get housing. This is how you go about teaching those veterans that come into your residence how to build wealth because you learned how, because I taught you. So you should be passing it on to the next one. You shouldn't be gatekeeping. You shouldn't be keeping it to yourself. Because what they're going through, sometimes we all need somebody to say, hey man, they did it, I can do it too. I'm not the smartest person in the world, but I'm pretty intelligent. I'm not the best person in the world, but I'm pretty awesome to myself. Because I don't focus on worry about what other people think and feel about me. You need sustainability. Why? Because sustainability gives you peace. Predictability gives you peace of mind. And once you have peace of mind, then you go out and go do so much more than you ever thought possible before. Veterans, I want you to listen carefully. You do not need to rush. You need to stabilize. You don't need 5 properties. You need peace of mind. You don't need hype. You need structure. Structure is strength. Stability is not weakness. It's preparation. It is discipline applied correctly. And when your foundation is solid, then we scale, then we build. Then we multiply, but not before. Housing first, then strategy. Get your house in order. stabilize everything. Because then you get the strategy, then you get the scale. This is what dominion empowerment is all about. When we build correctly here, there's no boundary to what it is that we can accomplish. There's nobody that can tell you, hey, you're doing too much. Hey, you got too many properties. Hey, whatever the case may be, because there's always going to be somebody that's going to say something to you, either positively or negatively, depending on the condition and the state that that person is in. That's just how it is. That's the way I've learned it over these years. But what I'm here to do is to make sure that you get everything that you need and that you are successful, that you build stability. You have to have stability, because once you get stability in place, then you'll be able to prepare for what we're going to be doing in the next episode. But you're going to be talking about preparing for credit, the VA, and multifamily as successive episodes come about. Going to teach you how to properly get your credit set up the right way, proper scores, everything. How to understand the VA system, how it works, how to function the right way, and how to acquire these multifamilies the right way. Because once you do it the right way, then you just rinse and repeat. You just do it over and over and over. But you have to have these structures set up. You have to have your LLC set up, your AINs, your trusts. You just have to have the infrastructure set up properly. You got to understand taxes. You got to understand how you're paid. You got to understand these different systems out here and how they work. Because once you understand how they work, then you can go out here and help other people do what it is that I'm doing. Like I said, there's no competition. I don't have any competition. There's only one Jonathan Dunmeyer. There's not another. I'm sent to do what I'm sent to do. And there's nobody else sent to do what I've been sent to do. Nobody else can accomplish what I've been sent here to accomplish. So what competition do I have? I don't have any. Because I learned over these years from multiple people that there's no competition. You know, people create things and say things to get you to focus on the wrong thing, unfortunately. So I'm not here to do that. Here to make sure you win. Here to make sure you succeed. Here to make sure your family can look at you and say, Dad, Mom, thank you for what you've done, that you can teach your kids these things so that this can lead to a legacy building of a lifetime, and that nobody can take that from you. Nobody can take that from you. Because once you learn to build wealth, like I said, we're going to get into more things. Woo! We're going to get into so much more. I have so much to share with you. I'm looking forward to every episode. Looking forward to lives being changed. Don't forget to subscribe. Please subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to like, comment, share this video. Please share with everybody you know. Share with everybody on your Facebook list, everybody on your followers, every person that follows you on Instagram, on TikTok, or whatever social platform media you on. Share this with others, because somebody needs this information and it will impact their lives. Until next time, this is Jonathan from Dominion Empowerment Podcast. Also, before I go, don't forget to check down in the description, get your free ebook, look at the other resources, websites, some of my other businesses, business funding, real estate funding, my AI consulting company. Look to see what it is that I'm doing, how I'm helping people, and let's build. Let's get it. Let's get it.